everybody, it's Mia Daily. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a little book haul. I, in the past, used to do a lot of book hauls, but in recent times, I don't spend as much money on books like I used to. I used to splurge, hence why I have 5 full bookshelves worth of books and my own room for my books, okay? Consumerism at its finest, ladies and gentlemen, okay? But I've been getting a lot better in recent years at only buying books that I really genuinely believe that I'll read. Let's just get into this book haul. It's a short one, but it's a very exciting one for me because all of these books sound just incredible and I can't wait to read them. Actually, I think I have 11 books actually, now that I think about it, because I stumbled across one. It wasn't one that I personally bought. It was one that was gifted to me. So the first one, I guess I'll talk about very briefly here, is this Elvis Presley Graceland guidebook. My little sister Eva, well her grandma, because we have different moms, so her grandma went to Graceland, I guess, and she got me this, and she decided to give it to me, which is so sweet. But so she bought this Graceland guidebook. I'd love to go through it and really like digest everything, because when I get to Graceland, I really want to have as much knowledge as I possibly can on Elvis's music, on his films. I definitely know I'm not going to be able to watch all of Elvis's films before I go. I've only seen a select few. But they're all great in my opinion, and I have yet to listen to a ton of his music. So that's why I love Elvis so much, is that there's so many layers to what he did in the short time he was on this earth. And so this is just going to be so fun to go through and really understand the significance of each of the rooms in Graceland. I'm just so excited. Thank you, Mary, for this. I'm actually so happy I have this because it's going to talk about his house, and I don't have any books in my Elvis collection or magazines or anything that I have of his that really talks about Graceland specifically. But thank you. So excited about that one. Let's keep going. The first one I do want to talk about is The Man Made of Smoke. This is by Alex North. Alex North, under this pen name of his, has released, this is going to be his 4th book, and I started this, didn't end up getting past like the first 2 chapters. I'm really trying to embrace mood reading this summer and just picking up books that I genuinely really want to read in the moment, because then I end up enjoying them an awful lot more. As soon as I really want to read this book, it's going to be perfect. I love Alex North's writing so much. He's written The Shadows, The Whisper Man, and we also have The Angel Maker, all of which are really amazing books. My favorite is The Shadows. Of course, it's like everyone's favorite, I feel like, but they're all great books. And I have so many great expectations for this book here, I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So our main character, Dan Garvey, witnesses a crime when he was younger, and he actually escaped death by a notorious serial killer when he was a little boy. Unfortunately, his father passes away, and so suspicious about his father's death, Dan ends up returning back to his hometown to figure out what really happened here. And the question is thrown into the air. The air? Sure. The question remains, is that same serial killer that Dan nearly escaped death from all those years ago when he was younger still around, and is he the same person who had killed his father? Super exciting. Go get him. And if you haven't read Alex North, he is a fantastic thriller author. I recommend him very much. Another kind of spooky book, weird as frick. I don't even know. Honestly, this book is very strange sounding. I'm going to try and explain it as best I can, but all my notes are on my computer here, and I'm going to have to be reading off of those because I couldn't tell you. I couldn't wrap this up with a cute little bow if I tried. Divine Flesh. The Divine Flesh, excuse me, by Drew Huff. Whoever designed this art gets a raise, okay? Because this is stunning! It says, Jennifer Plummer and the Divine Flesh have exactly 3 things in common. 1, they're trapped inside Jennifer's body. 2, they despise each other. And 3, they're in love with Daryl Plummer. Okay. Jennifer's ex-husband is is Daryl Plummer, by the way. In an attempt to get rid of this divine flesh's hold on her, Jennifer ends up taking a wonder drug that unfortunately makes the situation worse. Now, this divine flesh detaches itself from Jennifer and can now love anyone it pleases to and assimilate it to the beast. Whatever the heck that means, Jennifer and Daryl have to now work together to save the universe from the divine flesh. It sounds so wacky and just really weird. I don't know. I don't really know what to expect. I hope it's good. I would love for it to be great. I want to read this one really bad, but I don't know when I'll get around to it. Now I'm kind of shifting into some like fantasy stuff. I bought this book when I was in Branson a couple weeks ago. Super exciting. I've wanted this book for so long, and I can't wait to actually read it eventually. I don't know when, but eventually. And that is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. First of all, the reason I did buy this in the first place is because I know it's nothing like Ordinary Monsters by J.M. Miro, but it reminds me of that for some reason, and I feel like this could be another really awesome book. Ordinary Monsters by J.M. Miro is my favorite book of all time, hands down. Fantastic book. And so I feel like I could get something really fantastic out of this as well. So, 1806 England, and centuries have passed since practical magicians faded into the nation's past. Scholars have discovered that one practical magician is still around, and that is none other than Mr. Norrell. He can be found raising women from the dead and summoning ghostly ships until he's challenged by another magician. This random magician just comes along. And that would be the brilliant novice, Jonathan Strange. Strange and Norrell go head to head as their involvement in the dark arts creates extreme chaos. Alright, it sounds incredible. I'm so excited about it. But this book was released in 2004. And the only sequel that I found on Goodreads is book 1.5. And that's just a collection of short stories that takes place in the same world. So I don't know if there's ever going to be another book, or if it's all wrapped up in here and there's no cliffhangers or nothing, because that'd be perfect. I'm just curious, but that's that. I'm so excited about that. I think that one's a perfect read for like the summertime when I have a lot of free time on my hands versus the school year when there's going to be a lot going on. Next up, I've been gobbling this one up. This one is Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinneman. I'm currently reading this one. This one is following Carl and his ex-girlfriend's cat called Princess Donut. They're some of the lucky bunch of humans that survived the apocalypse. So far, anyway. The apocalypse will also be televised. Carl and Princess Donut stumble upon the 18-level dungeon in which dungeon crawling begins to be broadcast across the galaxy, all of the worlds in the universe, whatever you want to say. Once you agree to play this game, there's no going back. The key to survival in this strange apocalypse is your clout and your it factor. So Carl and Princess Donut are kind of like this little duo team going on, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm doing the audiobook. It's an Audible exclusive audiobook, and it's phenomenal. The narrator does an incredible job of making all these different voices, just immersive. You can hear like certain sounds as well. It's just a really fun audiobook to get into, and it makes the time fly. Super fun. There's that one. Next up is one that's still in its book of the month box, because I was gonna try and do like a book unboxing haul, but I don't order books ever unless it is book of the month. Ow, that didn't feel very good. I got this one for the month of April. I just never got around to opening it because I thought I'd save it for a video. And that is none other than Passion Project. This is by London Sperry. Okay, what drew me to this one is obviously how freaking awesome this cover is. Oh my god, what's up with the covers? This haul has like some of the best covers I've seen in a hot minute. Anyway, this one sounds so fun. And I've been trying to get more into my romances. I have so many romances on my shelves. I just never read them, even though I love romance with all my heart. Bennett Taylor is one of our main characters, and she's really struggling to enjoy her 20s. She's living in New York City as a temp worker, and she feels as though her life has no direction. Not to mention, she's grieving the loss of her first love. When Bennett runs into Henry Adams just hours after standing him up on a first date, she makes an alcohol-fueled confession that she's not ready to date. Bennett wants to find a passion for her life, and Henry wants to help her. As a friend. As a friend, of course, guys. Duh. Why would he want to help her as more than that? To find her passion, the two will try something new in New York City every Saturday. As her guards fall down, her secrets rise to the surface, and Bennett needs to decide what she wants for her future. I'm actually so excited about this one. First of all, again, I think a lot of it has to do with how beautiful this cover is, but overall the concept just sounds so pure and sweet. Our male main character, Henry Adams, I feel like he is already such a sweetheart because he's going out of his way to make Bennett feel seen and like to help her find her passion again. It just sounds so sweet and innocent and pure, and I really hope that's kind of how it is, because I think it could be something so great. And I think we're definitely gonna touch on topics like grief and, you know, life direction, not knowing where you're headed, self-discovery stuff. I feel like this one's gonna be something so great, and I can't wait, guys. I can't wait. It's gonna be so great. I can already tell. The next book is another romance novel, and it's the sequel to the Rebel Blue Bance. Oh my god. To the Rebel Blue Ranch series. Is that it? I think that's right. Swift and Saddled. This is by Lila Sage. I just read Done and Dusted by Lila Sage a couple weeks ago. Oh my god, so fun. Just enough spice and like emotion. This one's following Ada Hart, and she does not need a man, okay? She says she doesn't need any man after having a failed marriage. But when she arrives in Meadowlark's infamous Devil's Boot, which is a bar that you'll learn about in the first book, she spots a very handsome cowboy. She's very pleased to show up to work on her first day in Meadowlark and find out that handsome, mysterious man at Devil's Boot Bar is none other than Weston Ryder, her boss. So she gets to kind of spend a lot of time with him, let her artsy side and let herself flourish in this new environment while she's also kind of falling in love. You know what I'm saying? Wes is falling harder and harder for Ada every single day that they get to work together. But Ada still has her walls up. Will they come down for Weston? I'm assuming so, because that's how romance novels work. This is a Goodreads Choice Award nominee, which is a great sign that this is something good. And again, I love Done and Dusted so much. It was so fun. I felt like I said, there was a really healthy, good balance between the spice and like the actual emotional stuff. There wasn't a miscommunication trope in that one either, so I'm really hoping that that's something that's common within this series, because miscommunication is just so stupid sometimes. So I am really excited about this book. It's gonna be great. I can just tell. I've got a few more books to talk about here. The next one's kind of just a random one that I've thrown in here. I have read this one, and that is If Cats Disappeared from the World. This is by Genki Kawamura. Oh my gosh, I'm obviously butchering that. But look at this cute book. It's beautifully translated, I'll give it that. And I need to read more translated books. I feel like I don't do enough of that. And this one was just so freaking funny, so sarcastic, but also heartbreaking at the same time. It was a lot, honestly. For such a short little book, it packed a punch, okay? And I do recommend it a lot. So our main character, who does not have a name throughout this whole book, ends up finding out that he doesn't have a lot of time left to live. And he's only in his 20s. All he has right now is he's a postman, he lives up in a beat up little apartment, and all he has is his cat Cabbage. as he comes home from that diagnosis, he gets greeted by the devil. And that devil, man, he is so funny. If you read the book, you'll know. But he makes a deal with our main character, saying that if you want to live, I'll help you. There is a catch, however. The devil will make one thing disappear from the world every single day in exchange for one extra day of life for our main character. This book is short, so you can assume that this does not go on for very long for our main character to realize the significance of each and every little thing that's on this planet. There's things that seem so insignificant that actually make such a big impact on the way we live, the way we communicate, the way we feel. It was just a fantastic book that's really stuck with me and made me laugh and cry within like a page. You know what I mean? It was just, it was so bittersweet, but in the most incredible way. Just a fantastic book all around. It just really makes you think about grief and loss and the value of life and how fragile it is. It's just very, oh my god, yes, okay? That's all I have to say. The next one I'm not going to talk about too much because I honestly couldn't tell you what it's about. I mean, I do know. I'm going to read the synopsis right off of my screen here because I haven't looked much into it. It's a really short book, and I'm sure no one has heard of it. It's written by Reverend Tom Evans, and that is called To Grieve. This is one man's life journey to help others through grief, death, and the beyond. So this was written by one of my grandma's acquaintances, Reverend Tom Evans. He went through a very traumatic childhood and life of losing and grief, and so he wrote this book to help people find peace in loss. I would love to read it. There's no reviews on it on Goodreads yet because this he just wrote this book on his own, and I think that's a huge accomplishment and something so great. I would love to be the first person to write a review on Goodreads for this book. Losing someone, the afterlife, it's all kind of up in the air. No one really knows anything about it, but this is supposed to bring comfort to people who've been through loss and grief, and that's everybody. So yeah, I'm excited about it. And then we got 2 books left, and they're both by Neil Gaiman, but the first one I'll talk about is Smoke and Mirrors. I bought this one at the Half Price bookstore earlier this summer, and I am so proud of myself because this cover, God bless the people who make these awesome covers because I love you, okay? This is Neil Gaiman's first set of short stories involving a place where an old woman can purchase the Holy Grail at a thrift store, where assassins can advertise their services in yellow pages under pest control, and where a frightened young boy must barter for his life with a mean-spirited troll living beneath a bridge by a railroad track. I don't really know what to expect with this one, considering I'm not the biggest fan of his writing. The only one I have read by him is Coraline, and it's an experience to say the least. However, I'm really excited to see what short stories are all up in here. They sound really intriguing, so there's this one. Super fun. Sorry, I had to step away for a couple minutes because my battery pack just died. I have one more book to talk about in this video, and that would be another Neil Gaiman one. It's another mass market paperback edition that I wanted the second I knew it was a thing. Regardless of the fact that I didn't really love Coraline, I still really want to dive into a bunch of Neil Gaiman stuff because apparently he's really good, and maybe I'm just like not reading the right ones. I don't know. But that would be The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. Oh my god, this is such a beautiful edition. This one is about a middle-aged man who returns to his childhood home to attend a funeral. Although the house he lived in is long gone, he is drawn to the farm at the end of the road, where, when he was 7, he encountered a most remarkable girl, Letty Hempstock, and her mother and grandmother. He hasn't thought of Letty in decades, and yet, as he sits by the pond, a pond that she'd claimed was an ocean, Behind the ramshackle old farmhouse, the unremembered past comes flooding back. And it is a past too strange, too frightening, too dangerous to have happened to anyone, let alone a small boy. This one is a winner of the Goodreads Choice Awards for Reader's Favorite Fantasy in 2013, so that's a great sign. And I don't know, I'm nervous for this Neil Gaiman kick. You know, I have Neverwhere as well as these two other books and Coraline, but I've already read Coraline, and like I said, that was a time. I have a whole vlog of me, and I read that book for the second time, audio version, and it was even stranger with the audio. It was so weird. Neil Gaiman just starts singing halfway through the book, and it was so weird. But I do, obviously everyone loves the movie Coraline, and so I don't know if I just read Coraline the book wrong or something. It didn't frighten me. I was just bored. Okay, but I have good hope for these this one, as well as the Smoke and Mirrors book I just showed you, and Neverwhere, that they're gonna be good books. But yeah, so that's the last one for you. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. I hope you had a good time. I do enjoy filming these shorter book hauls. That way I can go a little bit more in depth with what I'm showing you versus rapid fire, you know, not knowing what they're about and stuff like that. So tell me if you enjoyed. I'm trying to get back into YouTube. It's been a thing for a while that I've been trying to get back on to doing, but I'd say as of right now it's looking good. So but yes, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time on my channel. And let me know if you're interested in any of these books or any other book recommendations you have in the comments. I'd love to hear them because I want them, okay? Yeah, so I'll see you next time. Bye!